You're live. Okay. All right. Good day. I'm just gonna wait for 2 minutes. I am in. All right. So I think I'm just gonna get started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you're joining us. Thank you, Hamin. Yes, please, if you can just drop for the remaining 4 people that are watching us, if you can drop a message in the comment section, just let me know where you're watching me from. Okay, I would appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Hamin. How are you doing? Thank you for joining today's live session. Okay. I'm just gonna wait for one more. Okay, I can. Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for joining today live session. Despite the impromptu notice. Hi, man. Hi, sir. Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Yeah. So I think okay. Hi. Hi, Basra. How are you? Thank you for joining. Thank you so much, guys. Despite the impromptu notice, okay, I was actually going to like record this video. I was like, okay, why not just come live instead of recording and people can ask questions so that way I don't miss out on more details because I know you guys might have a lot of questions you want to ask. Okay, we're gonna get started in a minute, like 5 minutes after 3. It's 9:05 here. So thank you for joining once again. Thank you all for joining. Okay. In the meantime, if you are just joining us for the first time, please subscribe to the channel and you can share with your friends. So we're going to be talking about DS-160 visa stops and some other questions. So let them know that they can come and ask questions. So let other people benefit as well. So I appreciate if you can share with your friends. Thank you so much. And I also want to assure you guys, we're not going to waste time today. So it's going to be like straight to question and answer. And we just suspend every other session till next week. We have a lot of interesting upcoming sessions coming up. Study abroad in Canada, how to get scholarships, like so many things I could tell you. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Good day once again, everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Alamede Mercy. And yes, I'm a graduate student studying in the United States. On this channel, we get to like talk about so many study abroad stuffs, grad school lifestyle, and other interesting stuffs. We used to have live sessions where we bring scholars to come and share their experience. And people, prospective grad students, they ask questions, and that way they have a better idea of how they can go about their journey. Okay, guys. So today, live session is just going to be me. I'll be doing the talking. So I would want you guys to ask your questions. And even if you don't have a questions, I already have my own question already, which I'll be answering. These are questions that I got from my YouTube channel, people get to like ask the questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? So I'll be answering those questions. So if anybody come and ask me, I'll just make reference to them to come to this live session. It is being recorded, okay? All right. So top DS-160 mistakes to avoid before your US visa interview. First of all, I would like to say congratulations to you all that has gotten your scholarship, your admission, and you're now in this stage. Like, well done. It's a huge one. Congratulations. From going through the whole application process to this stage, you've done so well. Kudos. Kudos for you. So, yes, today, I just want to know, can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, just say hi. Because I feel like I'm speaking to the air. Hello, everyone. Please, can you hear me? Okay, thank you, Ezekiel. I really appreciate that. Okay, so where did I stop? Okay, if you've gotten to this stage, congratulations, congratulations, you've done so well. Now that you've actually like gotten the scholarship and everything, this issue of going for visa, filling your DS-160, you have to be very careful because one single mistake can cost you so many things. You don't want to miss it at this point, right? Thank you so much, sir. Emmanuel. So you've done so well. Thank you. Hey, that's my mom. Yeah, so um yeah, we're coming to questions. We're coming to questions. Okay, I mean you're the one that has that question. We're coming to questions. So I just want to give an overview. So as I was saying, you've done so well up to this stage. You don't want to mess things up, right? And like ignorance kills. You get it, and you don't want that to affect you. So that is why I'm here to address some commonly asked questions and some costly mistakes you should avoid, and how you can go about certain things. Okay, so first of all, I want to talk about the issue of retrieving DS-160. We all know that there's a way you can retrieve your DS-160 form. For those that do not know, the DS-160 form is like is a question, is a form that you have to fill before you can go for your visa interview. Okay, so that is like your own document, your own, where you have your details, all your details being inputted, and when you appear to the for the visa, that is what they would like. They can see about you aside the other information online and all. You understand? So like I say your own biodata. So you have to fill it correctly and accurately. Okay. You don't want to mess up when you're filling your DS-160. So let's assume you fill the DS-160 and you realize that, oh, you made a mistake and you already submitted. So this is where I want to like caution us. Be very, very careful because when you retrieve your DS-160, okay, your DS-160 barcode changes. When I mean the barcode changes, that is that confirmation code, that AAA stuff, it changes. So that way you have to find a way, figure a way how to update it on your visa form. You understand that? So when you were filling the visa form, you fill in your barcode, which is like quite very difficult now. So put it at the back of your mind that or try to avoid the issue of you trying to retrieve your DS-160 form. So that is what I want to address. If you've made a mistake, fine, you can retrieve your DS-160, but the barcode is going to change. And there is this instruction that is going out that you have to ensure that your DS-160 barcode matches the original one, the one you've retrieved must match the one you've updated on your visa form. I want to believe you understand that. So the barcode, nobody is saying you should not retrieve your DS-160, but are you sure there's a way in which you can update it on the visa form? You understand? So the visa form, the visa website has changed. So take note of that as well. Okay. So now moving on to the next thing, I'll be talking about the service fee of a thing. So the service fee, it is very important that you pay your service fee before you go for your visa interview. That is very important, but so many people do not know. And you have to pay before at least 72 hours before your visa interview. Okay. So don't just say, oh, you forgot, you don't know you're gonna you will not pay you have to pay your service fee. That is service fee on its own, and you are going to ensure that you're going to take the receipt with you for your interview. Okay. So I'm gonna pick one question and I go back to my question. So if you have your questions during the process of my talk, you can drop your questions in the comment section. So I mean, you're asking that if you're not working, how can you feel the working part? You have not done NYC yet. Very good question. So, in this category, so when you're filling the DS-160 form, there's this um, section where you are asked to fill your employment work history. Okay, so I think that is what I mean is trying to ask. So, and you don't have a working experience, you don't have working experience. I would suggest that, like, I asked you a question the other time. For instance, let's say you've done a training, a skill, all those things to can count as like voluntary employment. It doesn't have to be like a paid employment. You understand? So let's say, what were you doing during the course of that period when you left school? So those are the things that you're gonna put in there. You're gonna like present yourself well in a way that they can understand and they will know that, oh yes, you can't tell me that you've not been doing anything all along. Like, you will probably be learning a skill, or probably you're just doing a voluntary job, You understand? So you can put that as well. I mean, do you understand that my response? So what have you been doing between when you graduated and now? Like, package it well, present it well. So that is what you're gonna update in your form. Yeah. Yeah, you can ask any question. You can ask any questions. I will address them. But let me quickly run through the questions I have here with me. Okay. So I already talked about the retrieving of the DS-160. That is very important. Guys, make sure that when you retrieve your DS-160, you remember to update the code, your confirmation code on your visa form. And for the service fee, ensure that you pay at least, the meaning of at least, that is bare minimum, 72 hours before your interview. So when you have your interview date, make sure you pay it, and it's like $350 plus charges. So let's say like $360. So ensure you print the receipt out and take it along with you when you're going for your interview. And when you're filling your service, your DS-160, ensure that I Joseph, thank you so much. Ensure that your service ID, it matches the one you put, matches the one on your I-20. In fact, like, let's just say this in general, make sure you avoid the mistakes of like slightly mistake, like you want to write today you wrote four, you want to write mistaking all those, cause avoid all those mistakes, please. You don't want to go for the interview and they send you back that, oh, your details does not match, your stuffs are not correct. So just take your time, calm down. The response is not something you just do like within 1 hour you are done. Rush, 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 rush. You want to rush. Calm down. Take your time to like fill your DS-160. Ask someone to like go through it for you before you submit. So it will save you from the stress of you trying to retrieve. If you don't know something, ask questions. There are a lot of platform where you can ask questions. It won't cost you anything. Ask. So when you don't know something, you ask. That way you get to know what to do, and you are gonna avoid yourself, save yourself from the stress of trying to retrieve. Prevention is better than cure. Okay. So yes, having said that, I'm going to move to the next question where I feel like people ask a lot of questions. How do you handle the part who is your sponsor when you have partial funding? Okay, so there is this part that who is your sponsor in the DS-160 session, like your sponsor. We have orders, we have employer, we have, so many, government and something like that. If you are on scholarship, your sponsor is your employer who is sponsoring your trip. Who is sponsoring your trip does not mean that who is going to pay your flight. Nah, not really that. Like, who is, so it's not like, yeah, I'm going to say my majesty. So who is sponsoring your trip is not like they are going to pay your flight, or like who is covering who is going to be like financing everything you'll be doing in the US. That's a question being asked. So make sure that when you are answering that question, who is sponsoring your trip, it is like if you have a scholarship, so just be like, okay, my employer, you understand me? If you're on the teaching and internship research scholarship employer, so it's your employer because you'll be working, right? So it's your employer that is your sponsor. I hope you guys get that. Then let's say you have partial funding. I always say that calculate your percentage. If your deficit is like 80%, you can still, if your funding is 80% and your deficit is like 20%, definitely you can still be like, oh, your employer is your sponsor, because the larger percentage is being um, catered for by your sponsor. You understand that? So I hope that has been addressed. Who is your sponsor? If you have partial funding, look at the percentage. If the percentage is much higher, like the deficit is higher than it is you, yourself, or your family, your parent, or anybody. But if the percentage is like the higher percentage of the funding is coming from your school, maybe 90%, 80%, 70%, then it's your employer. You understand that? So I want to believe I've answered that question. Okay. So moving on to the next question that I have here. I'm going to address you guys' questions. I'm not oversighting. I just have a few more questions. In fact, I'm going to pick your question after this. So, what to write under your social media section? This is a very important and very good thing you guys should take note of. For this social media section, please social media your social media details there. Okay, don't think you can be like you want to play smart or anything. Put your social media details, especially your professional ones. You understand, like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Okay, and they ensure that they are well. Um, it speaks well, good. Like it's something that somebody can see and be like, oh yes, this person is. It speaks so well of you. That's just what I'm gonna say. You understand? So your social media, put your LinkedIn, your Aku. Okay, so make sure you put your LinkedIn, your Facebook, any social media that you have, but make sure that your social media speaks so well of you. You get my point. If you have any dances on social media, please go and remove it, go and remove it, go and remove it. Okay, there's a reason for them asking for your social media details. That is why if you're at this stage, be careful, very careful of how you manage your social media. Don't just mismanage the freedom you have out there. Okay? Yes. So I'm gonna pick questions from the comment session. Baku, thank you for joining. You want to apply machine learning to boost. This is not machine learning class. You guys is my colleague in school, anyways. So for Patrick, your cost of attendance is showing $22,000. And does that mean I was giving funding? No, 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 no. So, Patrick, I think you should ask your question very well again. I don't understand your question. So, cost of attendance, it is like the total cost. It's not just the school fees, so it's not just the funding. So, let me explain this for you guys carefully. Cost of attendance on that I-20, you will see living expenses, tuition, feeding, housing. They will even put books. Which book are you buying? They will even put books. They will put other things. So that is what sum up your cost of attendance. Do you understand? So, in fact, your funding letter might not be up to that cost of attendance. That does not still mean that you are not fully funded. So, I would like to understand your question very well. Your cost of attendance is showing 22,000, and the cost of attendance without funding should be up to 43K. Maybe you don't understand it. You need to probably rephrase that question. You get it? I'm waiting for you, Patrick. I want you to ask that question again because your cost of attendance, it's on the left side of your I-20. We have two sections. Then where your source of funding is coming from is what is on the other side. You get it? All right. Picking the next person. For someone that is on full funding, can one indicate that his or her employer will sponsor? Yes, that is what I just said. Who is sponsoring your trip? They will not ask you for flight expenses. It is who is sponsoring your trip. Yes, your employer. Thank you for asking that question. It's just what I've said earlier. Okay. Now let's pick Mr. Ezekiel question. He has actually asked this question. Uh, what are the key factors to pass the GRE test effectively? Okay, good question. Good question. Nice. All right. So if you are planning to write the GRE, that means you're looking forward to the next application cycle. I would say that first of all, this is personal advice. I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm gonna drop it for you. That is gonna. I'm gonna test your patience, Patrick. So you have to wait for like a few minutes. Okay. Don't just leave the live session. So, Mr. Ezekiel, what are the key factors to pass the GRE test effectively? This is based on personal advice. Okay, I would say start by having a study plan. Have you seen you know what the GRE entails, right? You have an idea. So I want to assume you already know what GRE entails, the math and English, and yeah. So what you'll be writing. So have a study plan. How can you cover these materials? How many months do you want to use to study it and all? Then number two, this is not like other this thing. I'll just be mentioning it as it is coming. Number two, try to like get past questions, practice questions, practice. Okay. Aside that you are studying, you'll be studying, but it's a thing to study, it's a thing to practice. So that practice will help you know where you have to work on. If you're practicing, like let's okay, I remember when I was practicing for this TOEFL, so I'm going to make reference to that. Um, what actually helped? We had a group study, like not physical, online, so you can join all those groups. So you have accountability partner that you can always like check up on one another. This is what I've read. This is this. Then you guys will subject yourself to time and practice questions. You get it. So then you see your scores, the person will give you feedback. This is where you need to improve. This is where you need to do. Understand? And GRE, I remember when I was preparing for GRE, you have to do those grammars, you have to learn vocabularies, you have to it depends on your strength. So know your strength. If it is quantitative, that you are very good, good. Work on your strength. Then if it is the verbal this thing, good too. So know your strength so you can work on your weak points very, very well. Then you practice. I don't want to waste so much time on that. But yes, have a study plan. Know have an idea of what GRE is, so you can have a study plan. You can have a join groups, get past questions and practice questions. There are apps that you can download where you can practice. Okay. Then at the same time, if possible, I would read all this Kaplan. Yeah, yeah. So I'm wishing you success, Ezekiel. I hope I have answered your question. Okay. I'm here to apply for my I-20. Yeah, so you've not even gotten your I-20 visa practice. So I think you are more worried about you're more worried about the this thing. Are you willing to go without funding? Are you going to go for your interview without funding, or you are waiting for funding? If not, I would say just relax till you get the funding. You understand? Because 22K is still a lot of money. 43K is a lot, 22K is a lot of money. And that can be true. 22K can be just for a semester. Yes, because they will only show that it's for a semester. Then that 43K is for a full year. You understand? But I will send you my email. We can talk. Okay. So thank you for your patience, guys. We have a few more questions to address. If you have questions, drop your questions in the comment section. Then there's this commonly asked questions that people ask. What like who to list as your closest contact if you don't know anyone? Good question. If you are filling the DS-160 form, you're on F1 visa, like you're going for you'll be on F1 visa, you're a student, F1 student. This session, who is your contact or at in the US? You should put in your DSO, your DSO. You will see that on your service on your I-20, that service section. So you see your DSO contacts and information. So that is your point of contact. Don't go and use one friend or one. Okay. As a student, your DSO is your point of contact. I want to believe that we understand that question. All right. Okay. Now, the next question I have here, I think I might have overread that, is Okay. So the security questions, like I would always advise that despite the fact that most of them what applies is no, 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 go through the security questions carefully, like go through it carefully to ensure that oh yes, you are putting in the right answer. Generally, filling your DS-160, avoid telling lies, avoid because you don't know where it's gonna get you, like you're gonna get caught up. So avoid telling lies. You want to you want I hope you understand that. So make sure you fill it correctly, accurately, carefully. Don't just rush through the whole process. Something just came to my mind. I just over read that. But yes, you guys can ask questions. You guys can ask questions. I closed my list already. Okay, so there is this part that they would always ask you to list um they will ask you to list people that you can contact aside your relatives. Okay, so you can always use your recommend people that can speak well of you, just like the way you do for your recommenders. That when they reach out to them, most cases they might not. Just put their information there. So it must not be your relative. You get it. So, but you have to fill in that information. So I don't. I used to get that question, but you don't have to fret so much about that. Do not lie, okay? Remember they can check. So be very, very careful. Okay. Then the issue of you scattering your name and not putting your name correctly. I want to believe that we understand the difference between first name and last name. So make sure you avoid that mistake of putting your first name before your last name, another kind of a thing. Then this your name that you're putting in your DS-160 must match the one on your passport, the one on your high 20. Don't just bring one name from anywhere that you want to put plus the distance. So avoid just so that everything is accurate, because any little mistake like this can be like red flag, and red flag is not good to be on your profile. Okay, so I think that is all I have on my own side. That is all the questions I have here. So I want you guys to ask your questions. I'm gonna go to my common questions I get. I see people asking my YouTube. So I'm gonna go to the DS-160. So maybe I can pick questions from there. Okay. So duration of your stay. I just saw a question. Duration of your stay in the US. How cool! Why are you coming for me this morning? So duration of your stay in the US. Look at the number of years on your I-20. That is what you should put in there. So that's a good question. How many DS-160 should you feel? Feel just one DS-160, because the DS-160 you feel the barcode is what you're going to put in your visa form. So make sure that you don't feel too much. Even like you feel 20, just make sure that you're using the one you'll be putting the barcode on your visa form must make sense. That will be the original. All right. So for the number of years, duration of stay in the US, make sure you use the one on your I-20. Even if your program is 1 year and on your I-20 it is 3 years, use the one on your I-20. You don't want to scatter those people. You don't want to confuse the people that are in charge of the DS-160 details. So make sure you fill it what you have on your I-20. Okay. So we already talked about point of contact from the school. Use the DS1, your DSO. Okay. All right. Mm. Then they always ask you, have you made any plans for your trip? I think you should, if you've not made any plans because you're just going for visa interview, right? So then, so you should always like put no. This is mostly for like students. You understand? I'm not answering this question based on, we have different type of visa classes. Okay. I want to believe that's all the questions we have for today. Thank you so much for joining today's live session. And I just want to announce that we have upcoming sessions coming up. We have study abroad in Canada, how to like get scholarships. We're bringing a scholar who has experience studying in Canada and has gone through that process. So I would encourage you guys to join us for more. And yes, please subscribe and turn your notifications on, because when you turn your notifications on, you'll be notified when we are live. Okay, and please subscribe. I'm begging you. You can also share with your friends. And okay, good question. Thank you, Nawa, for asking that question. I still have time, so I'm going to answer the question. So, acceptable picture standards. Remember when I was filling my DS-160 form, this thing stressed my life. Eh? It really stressed me because I will upload it, to not go to upload, it's not good to upload. You just be frustrated. So, first of all, there is this instructions for the pictures, the passport that is allowed, the standard. Follow that instruction. If it is not, it will not upload, it will not go. So let me say that it's white background, and yeah, the instruction is there. I can help you look at it. So DS-160. So photo requirement. So it has to be between 1 inch and 1.5 inch. You understand? It has to be on white background. Then it has to be in color. Sorry, not white background, in color. It has to be taken within last 6 months. So don't go and use the one that you've taken since like 2 years ago. Okay. Take it in front of a plain white or off-white background. Make sure you are facing the camera directly. Okay. With your eyes open, and you put on a nice clothes. Okay. Yeah. So don't wear a hat, don't wear glasses, don't wear anything that they want to see your face like this. Put everything. You understand? So I hope I answered your question. Okay, my email, yes, definitely. I'm gonna give it to you. So my email is, I'm not gonna type it, Messi Olamide5 at gmail.com. Did you catch that, Pratik? Messi Olamide5 at gmail.com. Messi Olamide5 at gmail.com. Okay, so thank you so much for joining, guys. If you have any questions, you can drop your questions when I am less busy. I'm going to answer your questions. Thank you so much for joining today's live session. I look forward to seeing you next week, next live session. And yes, congratulations once again. And I'm rooting for you. Go and get your visa interview. We're waiting for you in the US. Congratulations, guys. And thank you all to everyone that has joined. And yes, if you are still in the process of trying to apply to study abroad, yes, I'm rooting for you. We are here. We're gonna go through the whole process together. We're gonna go to um the whole thing. I have a lot of interesting stuff and educating that's gonna help you get ready. We are getting ready for the next batch, which is for 2026. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Did you catch that, Patrick? Yeah, somebody is asking a question. I want to believe you're in Nigeria. A lot of person prefer Abuja to Lagos for interview. Is where do you do yours, and what is your advice? I don't know, honestly. Like it all depends on probably your promptity, where you got date, available date, and all this kind of thing. I actually did my own in Abuja, so that is that. Okay. Thank you all for joining. Please subscribe if you're yet to subscribe. I'll see you next week. Bye.